Hi everyone, I'm Susan with Pigtail Quilting and Stitching. Welcome to my channel. On this video, I'm going to show you how I did my setup for a demonstration that I was asked to give at our quilt show last month. We do demonstrations during the day, and I was asked to do a demonstration on Lori Holt's design boards. I will link Lori Holt's tutorial on this video. She does an excellent video, and that's how I learned to make my design boards. Also, I'm going to show you what 3 quilts I put in the quilt show. We have this quilt show about every 2 years, but this year it was the 3rd year. So come along with me and we'll just show you how I did it. So let's get started. I mentioned before on my previous video that I was getting ready for a quilt show that our guild is putting on, and they put this quilt show on every other year. And this year the theme is Garden Pinwheel Quilt Show. And so I am going to be doing a demo, and we usually offer those on both days. And so I'm going to be doing the Lori Holt design boards. And I think I've showed a few of these before on my videos, but here is kind of what my setup is going to look like. I just want to kind of show it to you. So I kind of got all my things kind of prepared. I have an example of the boards that they are on, the different sizes you can use. This one little pack comes in 3s, and this is another one of the basic size. And Lori Holt has a great tutorial, and then I've watched and done this. My sister first sent me my first design board, and I just really have used it, and she sent me some other ones, the bitty boards, and then I have made them for my quilting friends too. So, but I just wanted to share with you what I am going to be doing. So I have all my supplies out for doing the boards, and then I also did up some examples, and I'm going to show you those close up. But on the table, I have my little pinwheels that I've had, and I thought those were kind of cute with the quilts that I've had made up, so I gathered those around. And then I have some boards. These are 10-inch, and I'm going to use those for drawing during and after my demonstration, and I'm going to show you those too. So here's my boards that I'm going to be used in a drawing. I think I have 9 of them. And then I just have some little candies to have out on the table, and then the little cards for them to sign to put their name in for the drawing of the boards. So I have my little glue gun and my little pressing mat that I've got ready to take, and the batting that I use for those, and then a package over here as well of what it is that I use on my boards, although you can probably use any batting you want. But I'm going to be doing the example in this pattern, reproduction, and I have 2 10-inch ones cut, so I can kind of show how I make them. We have like an hour for our demos, or 45 minutes, so I kind of getting excited about it. But I wanted to show you also, I have these design boards, and I believe they're 14 inches, And then the leftover ones, I made bitty boards that are 6 inches. And then I went for the bitty boards. I thought for stitching, it's going to be kind of fun to have a needle minder. So these are just covered buttons with a magnet on the side that doesn't have the shank. I used the covered button, the one that didn't have the shank, and then glued a magnet, and then there's a magnet on the other side, and then that will hold your needle. So there, I put a needle on there, and you can see how they really hold a needle. And then the little tiny ones were left over, and so I just cut them into 4 inches and had some leftover binding, and so I just kind of made some tiny ones too, and that would be cute for a stitching bag. And I just cut the boards with my rotary cutter. I have a large rotary cutter. And these quilts that I have here that I'm going to use on the table for my demonstration, I have made these previously, and I just had them in my quilt room. So I have a couple of ones that kind of go with the fabrics. In fact, these were leftover fabric from this quilt. And I think the 2.5 strips were from this quilt you see on the table. And so it works out really well to make design boards out of. And I'll put a link to the tutorial for Lori's. If I can do that, I will sure put a link so you can see her tutorial, because it sure is a good one. But so you can see that that's kind of my show and tell. And I've got my little pinwheels here. Finally getting some spring weather. So you can kind of see I have my batting there. I have some more of my supplies that I might need. Just trying to get prepared. But I'm kind of excited, and I think it'll be really fun. I also just wanted to share, I didn't have my rotary cutter out here, but I usually use the bigger rotary cutter when I cut the foam board. Although I think you can use a regular one too. The small ones are a little more difficult. And one thing I have learned is that I really get a better result with my design boards if I use a small glue gun. Some of the ones that I have, and I think over here, I used my larger glue gun, and sometimes it was just a little bit too much glue. But I found when I used my smaller gun, I had a lot more control. And then I was just going to show you, I just had some, the 8.5 by 11 paper that is, comes in a pad, and you get different colors. Well, I had this orange, and I thought I could just cut that up, and then when I do my demonstration, I can have the gals sign their name and put it in for drawing for one of these design boards. And then I wanted to show you too, I just cut some 1-inch strips of fabric with my pinking rotary cutter, and it just kind of makes a nice little tie that you can kind of tie. And I've done that a lot for gifts in different widths, and I just think it looks really cute. And we have fabric, so we always have something accessible to us. So just kind of wanted to share those things too. I just wanted to share with you the quilts that I'm going to be putting in the quilt show at the end of this week. And so I'm just getting them ready. And this one is by Moda, and you might have seen it in one of my previous videos. It is by 3 sisters, I believe, and the title is Rue 1800. and it was a kit. And when I saw it, I just thought, I love the colors, and it was just kind of amazing how well they kind of blended in with my furniture. But I thought I would just kind of share this. I'm putting in 3, so this is the first one. And it's machine quilted, long arm quilted by my friend who is a fantastic long arm quilter. Now I'll get the other one and show you the other one. Here is the second quilt that I'm going to be putting in the quilt show. And it is from American Patchwork and Quilting's magazine, So Many Strips. I think it was from April 2019 is the edition of that magazine. And I used a fat quarter bundle from Lori Holt's Fabrics. I think Be in My Bonnet, or it was Farm Girl bundle. And that's what I used. And then I used her bee backgrounds also. There's probably going to be several of these in the quilt show, all out of different fabrics, because a group of us together met once a week and worked on this pattern. So it was really fun to see how all the different fabrics looked on everyone's quilts, but they all turned out so beautiful. And my friend, the long arm quilter, she quilted this also. So I will just kind of turn this over and show you what I put on the back. So I can turn you over here and get a look at it. I put another one of Lori Holt's fabrics. So here is the third one. And this was also down in my sewing room, but it's from Great Granny Squared book by Lori Holt, and the same name of the quilt. And this is made out of Lori Holt's Bake Shop fabrics. And I have made this quilt pattern, 3 of these quilts this exact size in different fabrics, and a couple of table runners. And it is such a fun quilt pattern to work on because it goes together so nice. The lights are kind of coming on with this one a little bit. Doesn't quite show as nicely. I will show you also the back of this quilt. I put some more of the Bake Shop fabric on it in pink. And then I just did the scrappy border. It's all made with fat quarters and a background. And then I used my remaining fabrics from the fat quarters to make the scrappy border. Or excuse me, binding. And it's quilted also by my long arm quilter. And this quilt has been folded, as you can see, so I will be kind of getting that ready. These are the quilts from my design board. I had those hanging over a chair, but I didn't fold them out to show you, so I thought I would just kind of get these out to show you. This is just a real simple pattern. So I thought I'd just unfold these so you could see these too. And this has some of the fabrics from the design board. And then I just put something that I had. This is from another quilt. And I'll just show that quilt in a minute. Here's another one that kind of goes with the design boards that I made. I used fabrics from that. This pattern is called Square Dance, and it just calls for 8 fat quarters and a background, and then border, which I use the same. And then I did scrappy border or binding on this one too, trying to use up the fabrics. And you'll be able to see from this one, this is the back. Oh, this is a different back that I had that was from another quilt. But anyway, they're going to go with me for my demonstration of my design boards. But I just thought I'd unfold them and show them to you because I thought maybe, let's see. But this pattern I've made many times too for a little baby crib quilt, but it just goes together so quickly and it's really fun to make. And it's called Square Dance. I want to thank you for watching this video and for all the kind comments that I've received and suggestions and feedback. And thank you for subscribing.